Thank you, Swapna. Good morning, one and all. I'm CA Anil Naik, Associate Professor and Dean of Commerce of 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗀𝗂𝗃 College of Arts, Science and Commerce, and host for today. Uh, I welcome Dr. 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗀, Principal, Vice Principal Dr. Preeta Nilesh, our star speaker, guest for today, Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra, and other guests on the screen. I can't see on the dais because nowadays we are absolutely on an online platform since last almost 1 year. I take great pride in welcoming you all to this first episode of the series, what we are going to start and what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. When myself and my department colleagues, we were discussing about what should be the topics for the webinar for this academic year, we had almost exhausted the titles because last academic year we had conducted more than a dozen webinars on various topics ranging from career prospects, career guidance, how to crack the professional examination in first attempt, interview techniques, personality development, income tax amendments, and so on and so forth. So we thought of having something different, something interesting, and asking people as to how they have become successful and to share their stories. And so we came up with this particular title and thought that we should start with tapping our local entrepreneurs from Thane, Mulund, and Mumbai, so that it could be closer to the heart and minds of the young students. And if they can ignite some of their minds, I'm sure many of the students here would be job creators than job seekers. So for me, of course, particularly, it was very easy to find such a person because our esteemed guest and speaker for today, Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra, is my childhood friend. We have both shared tiffins right from first standard till the final year BCom, and thereafter, of course, we have been continuing to do that. But before I take the liberty of introducing Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra very formally, I would like to brief about our college. I have been requested. Normally, Dr. Sharma sir takes the privilege to introduce our Vaze College to the participants. But because he today requested me, I will do that honorable task. Vaze College is, in fact, one of the finest teaching, learning, education institutions in the country and has emerged as a role model of quality academic institution. The college has established a unique industry academic agriculture interface. This is a multi-faculty institution established in 1984. Vaze College is the first NAC accredited college in the state of Maharashtra with top 5-star ranking, and was re-accredited in the second cycle with A grade in 2005, as well as in the third cycle in 2012. Our junior college is also awarded with A grade by Maharashtra State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education. The first ever India Today magazine ORG MARG survey ranked our institution among the top 20 institutions in India when the college was just an infant. It was just 13 years old at that time. The college has been granted the coveted status of college with potential for excellence by the UGC, and ours was the only college in Mumbai University to receive the prestigious award in the first list of 47 colleges in India. The college was awarded the Best College Award by University of Mumbai. The college has established healthy forward and backward academic linkages and a strong industry academic interface by establishing DST and FDA recognized scientific research center and cosmetology testing and research laboratory. The college has started postgraduate diploma courses in perfumery and management, only of its kind in the country. Our results at university and board examination exhibit a meritorious tradition. The college is among the few to conduct on-campus placement for the students. The college has been among the top 5 best biotechnology institutes in India, as declared by the Biospectrum magazine, Bangalore. So with this brief introduction of Vaze College, I would just request everyone to please mute their audio. Yeah, thank you. So now I would, of course, introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra. He has been, of course, very close to my heart and close to my family. But the formal introduction goes this way. Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra, born in Amritsar, Punjab in the year 1963. He migrated to Thane, Mumbai because of his father's transfer at a very early age, and his entire schooling was done in Thane. He completed his commerce graduation from 𝗕𝗪𝘰 University and later on went to complete his post-graduation in commerce. He also completed his law degree from 𝗕𝗪𝘰 University and completed a professional course, cost accountancy from the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants. During his initial year, he worked with corporate giants like Hindustan Lever, German Remedies, Cipla, Bombay Dyeing, and took adequate training and gained experience of the working culture. And thereon, later on, he joined his family business as a first timer, which was in the business of textiles. Okay. With a lot of hard work and practically nil experience and nil support from any quarters, started making dent into the business for him. The story goes on, but I would like to keep some of his achievements as a suspense till we start the conversation, because I don't want the entire achievements to be declared now itself. So as we go ahead, we will be conversing. I welcome Preetha Nilesh, Dr. Preetha Nilesh, our Vice Principal, who is always continuous inspiration to all of us to conduct regular activities and webinars. So Preetha, welcome to this forum. Yeah, so I just give the charge to Sanjeev to just talk for 2 or 3 minutes, and maybe then we can start with our conversation.
Good
Sanjeev,
morning.
you are on.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, absolutely.
Good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be associated with such a reputed organization, a college of such repute. Anil, as you rightly said, my association with college has been since last almost 25 years. And both my children have been educated from your college. One of my daughter, she went on to become an MBA in HR. My son is now on the verge of becoming a lawyer. So my association with your college has been far and wide. Sharma ji के साथ मेरी मुलाकात हुई है. I have also visited your college twice, and I am privileged to be invited as a guest to be part of this webinar series which you have started, and I am very sure it's a very novel concept and it will go a long way in helping the students community. As far as my choice for this program is concerned, you are the better judge. And I know what it requires today to become an entrepreneur is nothing but just a will. You don't need any professional qualification. You don't need anything except a will to do something different in life. I always believed that you should not follow others. You should make people follow you. You should do something in life that is totally different, that is made for you. What you like, the passion that is there in you should be kept ignited throughout the life. As one of my guests said, one Mr. Harish from Naik, कि आप उतनी उम्र के लगते नहीं हो. We should not. Age is no criteria. Till the end of your life, you should keep on doing something in life, always innovating yourself, making the required changes so that you never become dead or you never become stagnant in life. The only concept what we have to follow today is constant change. Constant change. If you do not change yourself according to the circumstances, according to the requirements of time, then you are out no matter how valuable you are. So if you always evolve yourself, if you always change yourself according to the requirements of time and keep on progressing, then I think you will never die. Your business will never die, you will never die, your memories will always remain. So we have to always keep on changing and doing the best to the one of its abilities. So every person is, is there with some special characters that God has given him. So one has to just keep following that. One should have that passion. So I think when from the very initial days only, we had that passion, and till date, we are still struggling to keep ourselves fit to be in the market. And we have been able to do that with the help of the Almighty's blessings. One can say that.
Great, 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 great. So let us start our conversation, Sanjeev. I'll take the liberty of calling you by nickname Sanjeev, right?
Sure.
So, so let us start maybe our conversation with your journey from maybe from school time.
Anil, my school days were very regular. Our background was very, very normal. We did not have the base to start with. We just knew that we have to get ourselves educated so that we have the required knowledge base to do something so that you don't get cheated in life. So our initial days of schooling were very normal. Yes, one thing was there, academically I was quite okay, not bad enough. I was more inclined towards the books. But at the same time, whenever I used to study, I used to always keep that in mind that these studies are going to help me in my business, because this business knack was there since school days. I'll share my experiences with you. When we were in school, we used to live in one of the buildings where my room was at the ground floor. After the schooling, what we used to do, we used to have a small outside the house and have a small store. We used to sell grocery, vegetables, and all those things during our part time in the evenings. And within 2 to 3 hours, we used to make a profit of around 100 to 150 rupees per day. So that kind of knack was always there with us. कि नहीं, कुछ तो we should do something on our own, not just studies. Studies will be helping us in progressing, but at the same time, कुछ business करना है, कुछ तो काम करना है, and that's how it started. It's like that. So that knack of business was there since the very school days.
Yeah, so well said, Sanjeev. You said that you had that knack of business and that probably fire in the belly right from your childhood time. But then why did you think of pursuing so many qualifications? You did your commerce graduation, then your post-graduation, then your law, and then your ICWA. So business, of course, as you said, you could have maybe jumped immediately after your schooling to the business itself. So
Actually, during those days, our family was being looked down by one and all, because we migrated from 𝗪𝗵𝘁 and we were here. My father used to do service. He was just a mere accountant, and he used to travel around 6 to 7 kilometers every day on a bicycle and do the job, 10 to 6 job in a private limited company. And the people over there and the surroundings and all our relatives used to look down that he and his family will not be able to do anything. It was that kind of a knack, and all his brothers, that means my chachas and kakas and all those people were there, they used to always look down, look upon us as something which probably we could not be able to achieve. So that was a very good thing that happened in my life, that I always wanted to prove that nahi, we will not be able to only achieve something in business, but academically also, we will prove to the family at large that we are second to none. And it so happened that once I graduated and then I post-graduated, even after my post-graduation, in another 10 years' time, there was nobody in the family who could achieve my feat. None of their children could study that much, none of them could study that much or do something in life as I had achieved. Apart from that, since we started our business also, and people then started looking upon us in a very different way. So what happened was actually a blessing in disguise for us, so that, as you said, the fire was ignited in us, and I used to always, and not only I, my family, my father was an dead inspiration for me. The hard work he used to pay and the kind of culture that he gave us, that never dupe anybody in life, always keep the slate clean and do something to the best of your ability. Don't come up in life on somebody else's shoulder. Okay, don't take anybody's help. If they give you help, they will expect help. So अगर आप उतना जितना कर सकते हो उतना ही करो और अपनी चादर के हिसाब से बढ़ो. And if you will progress in life, people will definitely watch on you. तो ऐसा मत करो कि किसी को दबा के अपना घर बनाना या किसी को दबा के अपना बिजनेस आगे लाना या whatever you will be doing in life. Do it in a clear, cut, transparent way. And that's what we have been doing so far.
Yeah. So we move ahead. After your while you were of course doing your professional qualification, I think you joined industry, as I just mentioned in my introduction to you. You worked in very reputed companies like Hindustan Lever, German Remedies, 𝗕𝗲𝗯, Bombay Dyeing. How difficult it was to really move away from these reputed companies and the comfort level. I'm sure you would have had a very good comfort level in these reputed companies, a good salary, good job, almost like a secured job, and but still you thought of moving into business. Of course, as you said earlier, it was because of your knack or because of your eagerness right from school time. But how difficult, or did you face any family resistance, or your back of the mind, how difficult it was to take that decision of moving away from that reputed multinational companies or industry into a business which was not a family business as such? You have not inherited any business. You ventured into your own business, right? Yeah.
We were the first timers. Actually, as a cost trainee, we had to work in a lot of corporate companies. So in few companies, I was there as a trainee. And while I was doing my training as part of the curriculum, companies like 𝗕𝗲𝗯 and German Remedies, they already had a pre-placement offer for me. They said the moment you graduate, the moment you qualify, you can come down to us. The job is ready for you. And it so happened that the day I qualified, and we had a family meeting, and my brother, my elder one, had just started with his textiles, and he said, Sanjeev, look, I have just started with my business, right? And we know we all are supposed to come up in life by doing something different and something big. Professionally and individually, you will progress. But what about the family? You think of all of us. Now, if I start my business, I'll have to hire a professional. I'll have to hire advisors. I'll have to take help of a lot of people whom I may be able to trust, I may not be able to trust. But since you are a professional today in our family, we all feel that you should join us rather than join the corporates. Because if you join us, the kind of experience and knowledge that you have, and you have gained this for us, then why not join us? It may be a zero base level right now. We don't have any support from any quarters, but if we all come up and if we all come together, probably we will be able to progress much faster and the way we would like to. I think that was a turning point. We had almost an overnight kind of a meeting the day my results were announced, and we had a marathon session with my parents and my family. And my father told me one thing, Sanjeev, एक ही काम करना बेटा, अपने परिवार को उठाना है अपने को, और परिवार को कैसे उठाना है ये अभी आपने सोचना है. हमारे साथ रह के हमको उठाना है या हमसे अलग रह के हमें उठाना है, क्योंकि हमें तो कुछ पता नहीं है. So you have to either do something for us or do individually. उसमें भी हमारी खुशी है, इसमें भी हमारी खुशी है, but इसमें we feel. See, again he said we feel. It's not something that was thrust upon me, but it was finally at the end of the night we found that नहीं, I will close the doors for corporate, because I told them कि अगर मैं corporate join करूँगा तो फिर obviously I won't be able to do justice to my business. So it is a do or die kind of a decision. Either I go for corporates or I come with my business. And then it was decided, no, we will join the business. For us, I am over here. Sometimes I do feel that initial years I used to feel, because there was a lot of struggle, hell lot of struggle. And I sometimes used to feel, yeah, I was already there. I could have gone places much better. But then today I realized, no, that decision probably could not have been better. My decision of joining the business was right. And today, not only the family, even the core other families, even I have entangled many people from my larger family, and all are very happy. So there are times when you have to take a very tough decisions in life. Probably it was very tough at that time when I took a decision.
Right. As you rightly said, it's a great what you call a fight between our professional qualification background which you have, and then go into a business which is absolutely new because you are the first time
Yes.
venture.
Yeah,
Uh,
we
so
did not
so
know anything about textiles. We didn't know anything about the ready-made garments and so on and so forth. मैंने कभी कैंची हाथ में पकड़ी नहीं, देखी नहीं थी. I used to always be with the pen and pencil and the foolscap papers, lots of textbooks and all other materials, because we were basically an academic. At least I was an academic,
absolutely
because till the age of 26, 27, we were just literally slogging for studies, for our
correct.
qualifications.
Yeah.
But then turning this way, and then finally no looking back, absolutely no looking back, and taking every day as a challenge. So then things have becomes very easy.
And in today's probably today's generation, probably it might be quite maybe surprising for them also, because today we know that families have started becoming like minuscule. They have started becoming like a capsule. Okay, you have only two members or max to max four members in a family, but yours is like three brothers, your parents, and then now your children. So you have been all staying together, you have been all working together, you have been doing business together. Sometimes for me individually, it seems that how it is possible, because you are a very professionally qualified person with so much of qualifications. uh, B, your elder brother is technically qualified. I think he was a textile engineer, right? So, and C, your younger brother, I think, had a very good knack in marketing. So therefore, though he is of course not professionally qualified, but he has a very excellent knack in marketing. So almost like three different type of qualities. So how could you basically gel so well together? And so, did you carry all your business differences of opinions at home? Because I know, because when I had visited some time back, of course, it was very long time back. When I entered your house, you were all having dinner, sitting in the drawing room and watching television. Almost half a dozen people, and for me, it was like something like very surprising, because half a dozen people sitting on the floor, and the women of the family serving the food, and watching television. And it was not a holiday, it was a working day. So it was like my eagerness to ask you this question is, how do you manage to have those differences of opinions well settled for so long number of years?
Anil, for this I would just like to tell you simple things, simple facts of life. That is, one should have the basic culture, sanskar, which should be there with us till the end of our life. Number two is love and compassion to the family. And number three is sacrifice and compromise. We should not be greedy enough to do something for our own self. See, as I just said, coming into business was a big sacrifice for me at that time. It was a big compromise for me at that time, because the package that was offered to me at that time probably was a huge amount in those days. But again, as I said, that was a compromise and a sacrifice for my family. I did not look for the money part of it. I said, no, for me, my family stands first. Similar thinking is there in our family, which our parents have given to us. We have inherited that, and we are also trying our level best to do that in our coming generations. This is what is lacking in the current scenario. Everybody tries to do something on its own and says that I am the best, and he tries to deviate. Whereas a joint family, joint thinking, joint business requires a lot of compromises, sacrifices, and a lot of will for the others. We brothers have always felt for each other. We never felt for one own self. We used to always feel much more for the others. Till date, we are doing that. And we are very happy that we are seeing the same thing in our children also. Probably that was our biggest strength to bring this business up to this level. Because it was like specialization, everybody is looking after their own departments. And nobody is interfering in the other person's department, knowing very well that the one who is in charge of the department is the best person to decide. We used to take a lot of decisions, but the final say would be of the person who was the head of the department. So it was like a Hindu undivided family where we did everything together and carried the flag of the family till date. And I would really like to tell the younger generations that family jaisa koi nahi rehta. You can try n number of times. Finally, it is the family who will come and stand next to you in times of need. So be progressive, be healthy, but be with the family.
Absolutely. Rightly said, and perfectly said. Okay, we now go into your details of the business, because I have not given a complete detailed introduction of yours. Though I had the profile with me, which runs into about 3-4 pages. So I thought that we should bring it out during our conversation. So as you said, you first ventured after immediately qualifying or professionally qualifying, you ventured into the textile business, which I think was basic fabric. You were only selling fabric at the moment, right at the beginning. I remember you had a very small office in 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪, where you used to sell those shirt pieces or something, or maybe prior to that. Yeah, textile fabric. Yeah. So, and that reminds me, that you, in your introduction talk, that change is to be constant. So from that stage, when you had that fabric, to the stage of today's ready-made garments in all the varieties, in fact, from gents to ladies and all, so on. So you could elaborate probably in that.
Anil, as you are aware, my elder brother, he's a textile engineer. So very well versed with the fabric part of it. So initially when he just started, and we started with textile, I joined him. We used to manufacture fabrics and we used to sell on a wholesale basis. Right? We used to have a small office, a rented place in Masjid, and we had a factory premises also we rented in Vikhroli. We had a huge setup initially also. We had around 40 power looms where we used to manufacture fabrics and then sell throughout the country. What happened is, while doing all those things, we were in a fairly good position. But as you are aware, that there was an episode known as the Mandal Commission. During those times, VP Singh's time, what happened is there was a huge UN cry because of the Mandal Commission. And we had a lot of outstanding debtors which were there when we were doing that business. What happened is, during those times, turbulent times, a lot of our money got stuck up over there. And we faced a lot of financial problems because we could not realize those debts. And then finally we said we should slowly and steadily stop selling to the outside markets, to those areas, to those states which are badly hit, and have a controlled kind of a business. But even in spite of doing all that, we still found that the coming generations, the coming era, in the meantime, there were a lot of brands which was coming into India, and we thought that ready-made would be a better option rather than selling the fabrics, because the amount of margins that we were expected, the amount of hard work that we were giving in for the fabrics, the returns were not sufficient enough. So we thought that we should be with the ready-made. We should try and convert this fabric into ready-made, and we should be direct to the customers. We should not only convert the fabric into ready-made garment and sell it to the third party, but we should sell it directly, so that even that margin which is expected to be given to a third party, is directly passed on to the consumer or the customers. So the concept of direct from manufacturer to the customer, we were the first ones to start with locally. So we started manufacturing shirts. Initially we had, because our manufacturing base was only the shirting materials, we used to manufacture only the fabric for shirting. So we started converting those materials into shirts. Then we said, okay, we have to sell it on our own, how to do about it, how to go about it. Then we took a small outlet in Thane on a rental basis for 6 months. So we will try and see whether it is possible for us to sell. And then it not only sold like cake, we shop that
Request everyone to mute, please. Please mute. Yeah. Thank you.
So the shop that we had rented for 6 months to sell the ready-made shirts went on for another 2 years. We extended the premises and we sold only shirts for 2 years. And within 2 years, the product not only sold in Thane, but it was like something which was well appreciated and well taken off. The quality of the product, since the fabric part was known to us, we knew what kind of fabric we are offering to the customers. Then the stitching part was also under our roof. We knew what kind of stitching we are doing. And finally, the price. We knew what kind of price we are offering. So the price at which the product was sold at that time was so nice that customers started accepting it. And the name, that is Deva, we thought of keeping the label name Deva because there is a small story behind it. The story goes like this, that there were a lot of foreign brands had come during that time. Peter England and so on and so forth. There are a lot of brands. So we used to always have a family meeting and say कि देखो हमारे हिंदुस्तान के लोग पीटर इंग्लैंड दिस एंड दैट किसी ने किसी को देखा नहीं है, कौन पीटर इंग्लैंड है, कौन सेंट पायर्स है, किसी को कोई पता नहीं है, right? But we strongly and strictly go by that label just because it is a foreign brand. So we being a local manufacturer, we being a local brand, we should keep a brand which should be so near to the heart. Why not we also keep it as per our faith? So we had a lot of faith in the Almighty. We said, okay, let us have Deva. Deva means the Almighty, right? तो हमने वो नाम अपना देवा इसके लिए रखा कि let the Almighty do the needful for us. You know, that was a very religious kind of sentiment also behind this brand. कि नहीं, एक तो वो इंडियन नाम होना चाहिए, number one. It should have the Indian sentiments behind it, and it should be sold to the Indian. So ये तीनों चीज पकड़ के we started selling aggressively in the market, and within 2 years, I think Deva shirts was known in Thane, and people used to come and buy many shirts, and they used to appreciate. And one more thing I used to tell you that before going further, that selling a product in Thane is not as simple as selling a shirt in Mumbai, because this was a very conservative market. I'm talking about 25, 30 years back. It was a very conservative market. People used to not only buy the product, but they used to always feel that buying a product from a particular shop is like buying an insurance policy. That if tomorrow something goes wrong, you can go back to the shopkeeper and say, hey Baba, देखो आपका कपड़ा खराब हो गया या आपका product खराब हो गया, so on and so forth. But in our case, since we were so confident about the fabric part of it, the stitching part of it, and the fitting part of it, we felt that nothing doing, we will be able to knack this thought process. And if we did, we were able to successfully break the mindset of the people over here. And there was one more plus point, these type of mentality, if they stick to you, they will not leave you soon also. अगर ये आपके साथ एक बार मिल गए तो ये जल्दी से आपको छोड़ेंगे भी नहीं, तो इनको खाली आपने साथ लेके आना, इट्स बिग थिंग. It's not easy to get them along with you, but our quality played a big role in that. And finally Deva shirts was Deva shirts, and people started accepting it. They started wearing the shirts and proudly displaying it. अरे यार, ये अपने थाना का देवा का शर्ट है, you know,
Yeah,
that way started.
yeah. Correct, correct. I remember once when in our group, in our school group, we used to chat and say कि अरे यार ये देवा shirts खरीदते हैं क्या हम अपने group में से. So couple of people said, yeah, we go and buy, but the problem, you know, what in Deva shirts is that once you buy, the shirt doesn't get damaged, the shirt doesn't, the color doesn't get faded, the buttons don't get removed, it doesn't get torn off, and you can't throw it off also. So you keep on wearing the same shirt again and again. So you need to be really like we are like एक बार वो शर्ट ले लिया तो फिर सालों साल वही शर्ट पहनना पड़ता है. That is the problem with Deva shirt. So that I think right from the beginning you were very very quality conscious. That is what I remember. That is number one. And number two, in spite of the fact that your shop was located in not the main area of Thane. The main area of Thane is, of course, the Gokhale Road, where you find more than a dozen garment shops. You were located in a bylane, which was Ramoriti Road, and that time, of course, Ramoriti Road was not very well known for garments. Today, of course, it has become a second Gokhale Road, but Ramoriti Road otherwise. And you had a very small shop that also on a very low-lying area where normally during the rainy season it gets flooded and all. But in spite of that fact, people used to throng towards your shop, particularly during the festival season, asking for only Deva shirts. So the brand, the name Deva got in fact popular overnight. It was not a foreign brand. B, it was not a very fancy brand name also. Okay, particularly Indian traditional names were not considered as very fancy, but you took the challenge of putting that Indian traditional name. And then, of course, you came out with a remarkable feat. I would like to share with our audience here the world record shirt. The world record shirt, I think that was something which in 1997, I think you came out with this particular shirt. So I'm sure the guest could see this shirt, which I have displayed here on the screen. So Sanjeev, can you please tell the story about this shirt, this massive shirt? You can see the light pole, which is almost like 1/4 of the size of that shirt. This shirt was installed on that ST workshop. Now, of course, it is a new ST stand. Okay, at that corner. So please share the story about this world record shirt.
Anil, as I was telling you, it was not easy to sell shirts in Thane, especially with an Indian label. But with a lot of hard work and giving the best of the quality, we still found that people were still reluctant to accept our label, the name, the label part of it. And they were still very scared of buying the shirt locally from a local manufacturer. So we thought again over here as to how best we can market our product and how best we can showcase our skill to the masses. Of course, without the financial burden on the brand. Because financially also we were not that strong. Our bread and butter used to be adequately taken care of, but our advertising budget would not allow us to do a mass marketing kind of a thing. So what we thought is we should not only do something different, but we should do something which should also showcase our skill that the brand can offer, which no one in the world has done so far. So again, we had a very marathon kind of a meeting with my entire factory staff, the technical people around, all the family members. We came down to a conclusion that we should, since we are in shirts, so we should manufacture one of the biggest shirt in the world. We should not only manufacture, we should also be able to show to the world that see, there is a skill involved around this profession. It is not just selling a shirt. Has to be a skill, there has to be a quality behind it, and what best we could do it. So we thought that this label Deva should also be recognized with our Indian culture. So on the occasion of 50th year of our Indian independence, we thought of doing this feat. This particular shirt, it took us almost 1.5 months to manufacture such a huge size of a shirt. and this shirt is 50 feet in height and 30 feet in width. The involvement of the fabric was 800 meters, 800 meters of one single color, one single base, one single texture. Apart from that, the buttons, it was huge buttons that was there. And the cutting part of it, the basic thing was the cut. How could you cut such a big shirt on a table? There cannot be such a big place where you can cut the thing and then display it. But then that was the skill part of it, the hard work part of it. There were innumerable days and nights that we spent along with our technical expertise, our workers, and we had a lot of charts and a lot of things that was done initially before leaping into such a thing. And then finally we said, "नहीं master, आप बैठो हमारे साथ, हम लोग सब मिलके इसको बनाएंगे." And we did it. It was a huge shirt. And then उसको खोल के check कैसे किया जाए कि whether what we have manufactured and what we have stitched is right or wrong. But then again, it was our confidence in ourselves that what we have done and the precision in which we have done and the kind of the chart, flow chart and all that we had prepared, the cutting patterns that we have made, all made us feel that what we have done was right. It needs to be done now. Let us take the big risk, the big leap. Then the another challenge was the hanging of such a big shirt because it is such a huge structure. And the times was August. Because on
rainy season.
Rainy season, and you can know the rainy season how windy it is. So we got hold of a person. We had a big search for the person who could make a 𝗕𝗲𝗀. This is known as a 𝗕𝗲𝗀. A wooden bamboo structure which should be made according to our drawings, right? According to our shirt. And then we were almost hunting for a skilled person for this. It was not any bamboo wala or any person or any contractor who could do it. We got in touch with almost 15 to 20 people. All said, no sir, not possible. वो पूरा 𝗕𝗲𝗀 गिर जाएगा, किसी का कोई मर गिर जाएगा रोड के ऊपर, वो पॉसिबल नहीं है, अपन नहीं कर पाएंगे सर, आप ये दिमाग से निकाल दो. Then God sent, there was a person, one Mr. Bhosle, I still remember his name, a huge old man. He was the person who had done the station paintings at VT station. तभी नया स्टेशन का प्लेटफॉर्म बना था VT का, और वहाँ पे उन्होंने 𝗕𝗲𝗀 डाल के, the platform height was very big and he used to do the painting of that. We called him to our office. I said की भोसले साहेब असं असं आपल्याला करायचं आहे, तर कसं करायचं बघा. This is what we explained to him, and then he said की सर मी रिस्क घ्यायला तयार आहे. If you are with me, I am with you. आपण दोघे मिळून काही ना काहीतरी प्रयत्न करूया. बट आय एम व्हेरी शुअर जे तुम्ही म्हणतायत त्याच्यामध्ये खूप रिस्क आहे. देर इज नो डाऊट अबाउट इट. बट आता काहीतरी वेगळं करायला रिस्क तर घ्यावाच लागेल. See, this is the old man telling me something. If you have to do something big and something different, risk is always part of life. घर में बैठ के भी बोलता है सर कभी कभी काम नहीं होता है, बाहर निकल के भी अपना काम हो सकता है, और बाहर निकले बिना ये काम होने वाला नहीं है. तो आप चलो, अपन कुछ ना कुछ करेंगे. बाकी बाम्बू काम आप जैसा बोलेंगे मैं करूँ, मगर रास्ता आपने दिखाना है मैं करूँ. So when we got with the ST authorities, we went to the municipality, we went to the police commissioner's office. There was a lot of permissions to be taken because it was a huge structure. If some casualty happens, it will be a big kind of a problem, and probably cost of life is having no compensation. And again, that time the police Ali was there. He for you all, but sure that आप जो करने जा रहे हैं वो सही है. We are very sure कर दीजिए, खाली वो नाके के पे थोड़ा सा नाकाबंदी कर दीजिए, so that nobody passes just hang. And he had a police van over there. For us, municipal authorities gave a lot of helping, and we had the cooperation of each and every one. Thing that ये यार ये कोई अपना हिंदुस्तान, the basic spirit and giving us all these permissions was also that तो अगर ये हो गया तो अपना देश में नाम हो जाएगा, अपना वर्ल्ड में नाम हो जाएगा। अनिल नाइट वी वाज इन एंड आउट और एक प्रॉब्लम खाली हो रहा था कि and almost on the verge of tearing the shirt apart. If you see the photograph properly, there is no neck. The area of the cuff is open. It kept open because the air used to pass. तो ऊपर से निकलने का उसका रास्ता होता, हाथ में निकलने का रास्ता बन रहा था, so that उसके अंदर जाके बलून बन के वो कपड़े को फाड़ सके, so that the air should be able to come out. And that's how the whole night, मतलब पूरा almost 24 hours, you know, finally it was as the world came to know, because we are the entire media plus at that time saying how is it possible. So चढ़ती का नाम गाड़ी और चढ़ते सूरज को कुल आलम देखे. If you rise, the entire world naturally watches you, but you are at the bottom. Sunset को कोई नहीं देखता है, सब लोग sunrise देखने की कोशिश करते हैं. So जैसे वो बोलते हैं ना, सूरज निकला का, आज तक and all those channels, the entire print media, everybody they are covering the entire event. Overnight, which was an unknown brand, unknown label, became a worldwide label. And after, I think,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Am I audible? Because I think I have some network.
I can hear you.
Somehow I think there is some network problem.
Yes,
I think there is a frame freeze, and I think the voice is breaking into parts at certain times.
So Sanju, just check up at your place whether there is
Yeah.
range problem there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your voice is breaking. That's it.
There is some network issue at Sanjeev sir's end.
I think so. Yeah. Just check out whether your Wi-Fi is.
Wi-Fi is okay. Wi-Fi is okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Hear me now?
No, okay.
Slight better, but because your video is also getting blurred and your voice is also cracking. Okay, but I think we will continue. Yeah, so that was regarding the world record, and which coincided with, of course, the 50th year of independence, and as you say now, so many people were involved. You had to nearly juggle with the police department, the municipal corporation, and as you said, the person who had to display this shirt, the bamboo fellows, and even the shirt accessories like the button and the threads. So quite a lot of things which goes behind this particular remarkable feat. Yeah. So we move ahead. Sanju, are you able to listen?
Yeah.
Okay. Because your screen has freezed, so we are not able to see your video, and maybe you have to just check out your network. I think your screen is freezed, right, Swapna?
Yes, sir. Screen.
Yeah. So, but you're able to listen to us, right, Sanju? Yeah.
Very clear.
Okay, but your voice is of course cracking for some time. In between it was cracking, so I don't know. Okay, so in the meantime, what I will do is I will just share another remarkable feature of yours, a video I will just share. So in the meantime, you can just check out on your network. I will just share to the audience the video. So just give me a minute.
Before sharing the video, all of you please turn off your video and mute yourself.
Yeah, please turn off your video. I will also turn off my video.
So the video will be played smoothly. Sir, please unmute yourself. We are not able to hear the video, voice of the video.
Hi, I'm
Can you
Sanjeev
listen
Malhotra,
now?
Yes, yes.
of this Indian library. Indian library is a place for self-study. And so this is one and only one of its kind in India, which is open 24/7. Indian library started in the year 1999 and we were recognized by the Limca Book of Records in the year 2000 as the only library in India which is open 24/7. None other facilities, the kind that we are offering to the students, has ever been replicated till date. Till date, we are holding the same record.
I am in this library since 2.5 years.
I am preparing for my medical PG graduate.
I am an insurance advisor. I always read all the books regarding insurance over here.
The best thing about the library is there's a good environment for study. Even my seniors had told me, my friends, my colleagues have also been studying.
When you enter the library, there is this vibe that you have come to study. There is this motivation. Overall, it's a positive thing that keeps you going on and do better and study more.
Looking at the people who are studying from morning till evening gives us a good kick for studying. That is the main magic of this library.
At my place, it used to be very difficult to study because of the distractions. So after coming to this library, I'm able to study for more hours.
या लायब्ररीने मला खूप हेल्प केली आहे. स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम इंजिनिअरिंग म्हणजे बुक्स अरेंज करण्यापासून रात्रीची सोय, जर मला रात्री राहायचं असेल त्यावेळेस मी ॲप्लिकेशन द्यायचे सरांना. सर पेरेंट्सना सुद्धा फोन करतात आपल्या आणि मग आपल्याला राहण्याची सुविधा केली जाते.
See, the concept of Indian library can be run from the heart and not by money. This library was founded by myself and my family. We have seen our ancestors, we have seen people building temples, we have seen people making guest houses and all other things, but they have never felt the need of providing an educational facility for the students. So what I felt is during my childhood also, we faced the same problem. Joint family concept was there. People were having everything else to do, but there was no place for the children to study. So we thought of doing something for the society, not for a year or two, but for the coming generations. We give them all facilities that they require for their self-studies, whether they are books, newspapers, magazines, Wi-Fi facilities, computer facilities, whatever they need for their studies. All the needs are taken care of in this library. And how the child can combine his work, pleasure and the combination of his hard work. These things all in one capsule. That is Indian library.
तुम्हाला सगळे बुक्स अवेलेबल मिळतील लायब्ररीमध्ये. कॅन्टीनमध्ये पण सगळं तुम्हाला खाली जायची गरज नाही. तुम्हाला कॅन्टीनमध्ये पण सगळं अवेलेबल असतं.
There is food service, you can sit here, there is this room, you feel very tired, you can just come, take a 10 minutes break, have a nice good coffee and go back.
Discipline is the basic thing, like cleanliness, discipline and
रेग्युलर लायब्ररी साफ केली जाते. स्टाफ मेंबर्स जे येतात साफसफाईवाले मेंबर्स ते खूप मस्त क्लीन करतात.
एक सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची गोष्ट सांगण्यासारखी ह्या लायब्ररीची ही आहे की इथे सिव्हिल सर्व्हिससाठी लागणारे जे काही मॅगझिन्स आहेत ते विशेष म्हणजे इथे नेहमीच उपलब्ध असतात.
Since I'm a UPSC aspirant, we have lots of magazines and newspapers, lots of books are available. So there is no need for me to go out and buy.
कॉम्पिटिटिव्ह एक्झामसाठी जो लागणारा माहोल आहे किंवा जे वातावरण आहे त्या इथे बऱ्याच प्रमाणामध्ये चांगलं उपलब्ध आहे.
Whenever I come over here, I interact with students. I get a chance to help them with my experiences so that they don't go through the same sequel of events which I have faced in my life.
In this library, I feel like a family more than a friendly. All these people, all this staff always encourage about the study. Whenever I was depressed, I was feeling lonely. Staff always encourage me, पढ़ क्या कर रहा है घेऊन रहा है ऐसा.
मी नक्कीच मल्होत्रा सरांना याच्याबद्दल एकदम आभार मानतो त्यांचे की अशी वास्तू त्यांनी इथे उपलब्ध करून दिली आम्हाला आणि ती पण 24 तास अवेलेबल आहे सर.
Coming years also, till the time God has given me this opportunity, I will be helping students all over the country. $27,000 students last 19 years. I think it's a very small figure. There are still miles to go. Why? Because this is not the end of the story. Things have just started, it has matured. And now is the time when I think many more students will take the benefit of this kind of facilities. You go to any hospital in Mumbai, you go to any government offices, you will find one Indian library member who is successfully making a mark in the society, and he does remember the deeds and his days in the library. And I always thank God, thank Almighty for all this. And this was the basic purpose of this library, that when you do something noble, noble always comes back.
Yeah, I think that was quite touching video. Sanjeev, is it possible now for you to keep your screen on? Yeah, you.
Can you see now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Now the blur has gone from my screen.
No, you have to keep your video on. I think your video is off.
Yeah. Is it okay?
No, not yet. Your voice is clear, but we cannot see you.
Anil, I can see Sanjeev.
Yes,
on my
sir,
screen.
we can see.
Oh, is it? So how can I'm not-
Yeah, Sanjeev is visible to us.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I am able to listen to all of you.
Okay. So then we proceed ahead. There is absolutely no problem. Yeah. So your story of Indian library. So how from 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗺𝗀𝗧 you, in spite of the fact that 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗺𝗧 was moving ahead in leaps and bounds, you started with one shop, then you moved into second one. Now you have a third one. You have moved from just shirts to various other ready-made garments, taking care of all. I think wedding garments, and then you have moved into ladies garments. So then why this Indian library which came up, and what's the story about this Indian library?
Anil, once we achieved a particular level, like from shirts, now we are complete into menswear. Not only menswear, we are also complete into women's wear also. So we are complete into ready-made garments. There is a reputation behind 𝗕𝗲 today. People have accepted the brand. People are very loyal to the brand. We have the loyalty of customers more than 20 years. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I think there was some network.
Yeah, he's audible, Anil. He's audible.
Okay, okay.
We can hear him.
Okay.
So
okay.
Sanjeev is audible to us.
But I think his picture frame is frozen. Something either there's a problem.
For me, it is clear, Anil.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, it is clear. I can see him also. I can hear him properly.
Okay, okay, okay.
We can clearly hear him for sure.
Yes,
maybe
yes.
the picture is not clear.
Yeah, but you can continue, maybe Sanjeev. Yeah.
So what we thought is then finally what the society has given us so much, we should also be in a position to give back to the society, not in a form of a donation or in kind of money or some sort of a thing, nothing like that. We should be able to do something on a long-term basis, which the society requires. Like in today's world, we call it as CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. Whereas in those days when we started around 22 years back, we had a very noble kind of a gesture in our mind that जिस समाज ने हमको कुछ दिया है, हमें भी उस समाज को कुछ वापस देना है, but in such a way that it is on and on, whether you are there or not, it should be on. And then what was that? Then we felt that what we had missed in our life was the atmosphere for studies. As I studied under very dire constraints and circumstances, my father said कि हम क्यों नहीं एक ऐसी जगह बनाते हैं जहाँ बच्चे आके पढ़ें. And not only study, but एक गरीब बच्चा या किसी भी घर का बच्चा अगर वो आके पढ़ता है, तो उसको पढ़ाई के लिए what exactly you need, we should be able to provide him all those needs under one roof, so that when he comes to that place, he should be able to get everything under one roof and he should be able to achieve his career goals. So we thought of doing what? Then we thought of starting with this novel concept of a library. At that time, again, it was a very unique kind of a concept. And the people used to say कि बाबा आप क्या करने जा रहे हो सर, यहाँ पे नहीं चलेगा, आपका जो है वो बोलना है. What we said was, we do not want something in return. What we want is, we want to share our incomes with the society, with this noble gesture. So we took a place at Golden Dice. This was a very unique corner at that time in Thane, but far away from the station. And we said that only those people will be able to come who are really in need of such place for self-study. So then we started with Indian Library, a unique place where at one given time 300 students are sitting. The fees charged was very negligible, almost 10 to 20 rupees a day for 24 hours. Even that library was a unique library because it was the only library in India which was open 24/7. Indian Library also entered into 𝗕𝗵𝘁 Book of Records as the only library in India which is open 24/7 and could offer all services, whether it is reading rooms, computer facilities, internet facilities, canteen facilities, group discussions, newspapers, magazines, overnight studies, everything was offered to them. And what happened is, by word of mouth, the library within 2 years of its inception became a unique concept in the students' community. Our seating capacity was 300. Obviously, we could not give more than that the capacity of the seating. But then because of the students' demand, people from all over India started migrating to Thane just to become a part of Indian library. So we had to increase the capacity. Today, more than 27,000 students have taken advantage of this library in last almost 22 years. So this was something very unique that we did, and the student at large definitely benefited from that.
Correct, correct. A very novel out-of-box thinking, I would say. So something very unique and something giving back to the society was what I think you endeavored and that you have done. So, Sanjeev, we are almost like,
Anil,
yes.
The respect that we got from Indian Library, probably money could have never achieved that goal. You know, the students' success in their eyes and the sweet box that they come every year to meet me and thanks the library. You know, that is something which is out of box.
Yeah. And one very unique thing that I find when I visited your library is, in comparison with the library that we have in our college, is that total pin drop silence. So when I visited your library, I found that nobody was there to really discipline them. There was no guard or anyone, but the students were so much self-disciplined and they maintained such a pin drop silence. That was something which also very unique that I observed in the library in your case, compared to our, of course, the college library, where you find everyone chit-chatting, so many office attendants being there to shut them up. Sanju, we are almost running out of time, although of course there are so many things to really chit chat and converse with you. But there are quite a lot of questions which are coming up on the webinar chat box, webinar WhatsApp group. So I will just request my department colleague, Yogesh sir. Is he there, Yogesh sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you take the charge and maybe ask the question which is being put in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
I'm reading out the first question, sir.
Yeah.
So being in a business of textile, especially at retail level, estimation of people's liking and taste is almost importance to retain and maintain our customers. When it comes to rural areas or non-metro regions where different sections, religious, occupational, seems to be living in close proximity, resulting into similar likings in fashion in a group sharing common locality. Thus, one can easily get a rough idea which kind of clothes one may prefer, though it may look a bit stereotypical. One likes what one sees. However, when it comes to urban areas, getting an idea of people's liking is difficult due to homogeneity. So what is your approach as to styles and colors you would keep so as to provide maximum options to your customers as per their liking, as you can't estimate based on demographical data? Because if it goes wrong, people won't find experience satisfying, leaving you with unsold, outdated, or out of fashion stocks. Unlike other business, you can't always sell which you think is best, as customers are diverse.
You're right. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, this was the question asked by 𝗪𝗲 Naik.
A very nice question, a very practical question. What I would like to say is, in my initial conversation, I had said that Thane was a very conservative market, and manufacturing and selling the product as per the needs of the area is of sole importance. Absolutely. What we used to manufacture and sell in Thane, we could not sell the same product in Bandra or Santa Cruz. because the taste, as you said, the taste varies according to the culture, work culture, the demographic culture, taste of the people does vary, and you have to manufacture according to the area where you are doing your business. And being in manufacturing and retail, we did had this knack in our mind. We did visualize all these things before manufacturing. And in fact, that was the reason why we were successful in Thane, because we went into the deep into the hearts of Thaneites. And they used to love coming to us because they found the taste very much in front of their eyes. And the same products, if they were displayed at one of our presentations in Goregaon, we were not successful because the taste there, people used to not catch that much. So then we had two sets of manufacturing lineup, one which was the Western lineup and the other one was a central lineup. So what that you rightly said, a retailer has to always keep in mind the coming season, not what you're selling today, but what will be sold in the coming 3 to 4 months. Today, what we are manufacturing is for Ganpati, and what we are selling is casuals, that is the monsoon season. So one has to be very much alert as far as the retail business is concerned.
Yes, sir. Next question. Can we go ahead for the next question, sir?
Yes.
𝗪𝗵𝘁 sir is asking, sir, you said academic professional qualification does not matter in entrepreneurship, but when we venture into any business, there is requirement of domain knowledge. This limits to venture into new sector confidently. How does one handle one domain delegation if hire professional as all don't have qualified members in family? Does hiring domain expert and delegation really work? Because sometimes expert domain knowledge limitation becomes a pain point and limits venturing to domain specialization, and we end up more in generic biz.
Yes, you are right. That is a limiting factor. There is no doubt about it. Having a person in-house as a doctor and taking a consulting from the doctor outside, it does make a difference. There's no way out that there is no difference. Obviously, there is a lot of difference. Now, being a professional, I used to manage the entire professional side of my business single-handedly. The entire PR, the entire accounts, the entire background, the HR, all in one departments were handled by a single person who used to head the department. But it is not a setback for those who don't qualify. You can definitely hire. Only thing that is required for a businessman is man management. That is the core of any successful entrepreneur. The person should be able to man manage. If we are able to man manage people, I think you are the most successful person in life, irrespective whether you are qualified or not. To do any business and to come up in life, obviously you require n number of qualities, not just the quality of being an MBA or just a simple businessman. No, you need everything all in one, but you cannot have all in one. So you have to manage with people so that whatever is negative with you or whatever is minus in you, you can get it outside and make it a plus. But to find the person of your wavelength and get the things done is where your knack is. That is where your success or failure lies. That is where you should be always be on the high alert.
Okay, sir. Very nice answer, sir. Let us come to the next question. Yeah. Sir, Piyush is asking, a very good morning, sir. Can you explain how the factor like target market, competitive factors, financial capital, and legal and regulatory environment affects act the initial stage of business?
For any stage of business, not just the initial stage, even the running of a business, there are lots of legal formalities, lots of financial formalities, and in fact, a lot of government regularities that are required. One should be alert for that. One should be aware about that. I would like to tell all my younger generation, especially in today's world, if you would like to start any venture or if you'd like to become an entrepreneur, please be aware about all this. Ignorance of law is no excuse. It was neither an excuse then nor an excuse today. So do not be ignorant of anything that may hamper your growth or that may dampen your growth. So one has to be aware about what he is doing, what are the legal formalities, what are the requirements that has to be fulfilled in order to start and proceed with the business.
Yeah, perfect.
So
yeah, next question.
Next question I read
Yes,
out.
please.
Yes. Dimple is asking, hello sir, I would like to ask you, how did you manage your initial advertising and marketing? What was your strategy as social media was not that up to that date? And I think I would like you to share some of your marketing strategies for startup as well.
My dear friend, I would like to share something with you. The biggest marketing tool that we gave not only to our brand but to the entire world was the biggest shirt in the world that we made and displayed. You know, the biggest advertising firm at that time, 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗀𝗃 in Mumbai, and the biggest news channel, that is the 𝗬𝗏 channel, and the biggest company at that time, Raymond's, they all got in touch with us as to how come I could gain crores and crores of business of advertisement without spending a single pie. This was the basic question with us also at that time. We were having financial limitations and we did not have the advertising budget. Still, how to make our brand a known brand. So we came out with this unique kind of a concept which not only made our brand but gave us the advertising value, and those times when there was not much of social media. All newspapers, whether they were Indian newspapers or foreign newspapers, if we have the entire cuttings of all those places where we were covered. Deva shirts was covered throughout the world and we got the mileage probably, which even after spending crores of rupees, people would have not got it. So this was a kind of a crux that we came out with in order to overcome our financial constraints.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great.
Next question, sir. Manoj Sangare, sir, from our college, he is asking you, sir. Malhotra, sir, I am really inspired by your actions. My question is to you is that, as I am a teacher or mentor, always discuss this with my students that as a 𝗧𝗎, you should think in a direction of being a job giver and not a job seeker. Do you really feel that today's young generation should think to become an entrepreneur instead of waiting for government to produce employment opportunities for them?
See, today I was reading a Supreme Court judgment which said that thrusting vaccination to a person is not compulsory, right? So business or becoming an entrepreneur is a similar kind of a concept where, as I've said, there should be some at least 5 to 10% of interest level of a person doing something different, something on its own. My suggestion to the younger generation is there is ample scope. India in another 5 years will be a force to reckon with. See, please mark my word. India in another 5 years is going to be a force to reckon with. It's going to be a manufacturing hub. It's going to be a commercial capital of the entire world. Consumers in India is 1.3 billion. So absolutely, my dear friends, job seekers as well as job givers, both are going to have an ample opportunity. Only keep your focus as to really what exactly you would like to do. But my preference would always be definitely to do something on your own. Not only you will enjoy doing it, you will love doing it, but you will also feel the satisfaction level of creating and doing something for your nation.
Yes, sir. Next question, sir. Saloni is asking, sir, as you are engaged in the business of ready-made garments, during the lockdown, this business was badly affected. Then how did you manage the expenses of business? And sir, how did you maintain coordinates between the business activities?
Well, this pandemic was a very unfortunate event for all, not for only retail business, but even for all service sector industries. We were the worst affected. But as I have said, today we were in a position where we could vouch, where we had a lot of reserves that took care of our business, not only of our business, but the entire support staff and the people involved along with us. We were able to take care of not only the business, but the entire community as such, who are there along with us. This was only possible because of the reserves that one has built up during those years, so many years of doing your job or your business. And for this pandemic, there was no other alternative except sitting at home and doing nothing, just planning, planning and planning, waiting, waiting and waiting to open. That's it.
Correct, correct.
Yes, sir. The questions are over from WhatsApp group, sir.
Okay, okay. I think there is some chat which is there in the chat box of the Microsoft Teams. Can you see that or?
Chat box, yes. Chat box, all the questions I think we have covered, sir.
Okay, great, great. Fine, fine. So I think we are absolutely dot on time. We had scheduled to wind up by 12. There are, of course, there are so many things to really still converse, Sanjeev, but because of the time constraint, we have to almost wind up this. I'm sure you have really ignited a lot of minds and I'm sure many of the audience here or the participants here would certainly take up self entrepreneurship and would create great name with your so much of inspiring stories. Some past just ask you is what are the two things that you would really guide this younger generation or the audience here? Two things, two tips. This is the last question from my side.
Work hard. There is no alternative to working hard. Second is be transparent, be honest to your own self. I think these two things, always keep your passion with you. Always keep your passion. Do not diminish it in any way. The world will be at your feet. The world will be at your feet.
Great, great. That was really inspiring. Now I just request my department colleague Shilpa to propose a hearty vote of thanks to our esteemed speaker and the audience who are here.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 yes.
Good afternoon to one and all. I think it's a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today's webinar. First and foremost, I thank our speaker, guest speaker, special speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Malhotra, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. And thank you for lovely tips. We are grateful to our principal, Dr. 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗀, and vice principal, Professor Dr. 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗰𝗲𝘀, for guidance and continuous motivation. I would like to thank our well-wisher, vice principal of Junior College, 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dean of Commerce, Head of Department, 𝗕𝗲 Anil Naik, for his valuable contribution and guidance in all our efforts. I thank my department colleagues and other faculty members who directly and indirectly supported for making this webinar successful. Last but not the least, I thank you to all the participants and my dear students who actually participated in today's webinar. The link for the feedback form is given in the chat box. Everyone, please fill up the feedback form, then you will get the participation certificate within 3-4 days. Once again, thank you to all.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank
very
you.
much.
We'll keep the session open for informal talk. So we need not wind up.